Hello, I'm Jason, President and CEO of Complex Community Federal Credit Union, and we're excited to be with you again for another series of Money Saving Mondays. What are Money Saving Mondays? Well, we're going to cover a wide variety of topics. We're going to touch on things like saving, investing, insurance, how to buy a house, how to buy a car, credit reports, a whole wide variety of different topics. But we couldn't do it without the partnership with UTPB. We'd like to give a special thanks to Dr. Woodley, Dr. Spurlock, and Diana Ortiz. These ladies, along with the entire UTPB faculty and staff, are focused on you discovering a greater success as you leave to go out to the world. Thanks again, UTPB. Why do we teach financial capabilities? 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. 3 out of 4 people. That's a lot of people. What does it mean to live paycheck to paycheck? That means you don't have money to save or invest. You don't have money for food. You might not have peace of mind. You might lose choices or opportunities out there. It adds stress to your life. One of the greatest things you can invest in is your college education and you understanding the financial capabilities. At the end of every session, we're going to have a question and answer period. We'll have our contact slide so you can be able to send us your questions. If we don't touch on your questions in class, send it to us and we'll circle back and answer those questions again in the next session. We're excited. We're ready to run with our Money Saving Mondays.
Hi, Lisa with Complex Community Federal Credit Union. Today we're going to talk about money and relationships. Does one really have anything to do with the other? Oh, absolutely. You either pay the bills every month or you can't. You can save or you can't. You share the same financial goals and practices or you don't. You have similar spending habits or you don't. All of these things can serve to try your patience, create financial insecurity, and ultimately stress your relationship to the max. High income. Everyone thinks high income fixes everything. It's actually associated with less daily sadness, but it is not associated with more daily happiness. Money doesn't buy happiness. You've heard that before, and it's absolutely true. It does make life more convenient, more affordable, and it allows for more choices. So if you're sick, you're sad, but you have more choices, the best doctors, the best medical care. If your partner leaves the relationship and you have enough money, you can use your financial position to distract yourself. Maybe you can travel or shop or massage, but it's not going to buy you happiness. Attitudes about money are defined by your personality type, so think about this as well. If you're like a super conscious individual, you're more likely to be negatively affected by income loss. And if you have a partner who's like, yeah, it's no big deal, they're driving you crazy and you guys are going to have a conflict over that. So how does money impact relationships? Well, estimates are going to vary, but here's the general consensus. 36% of divorces, more than 1/3, are directly related to financial issues. 36%. Arguments about money is by far the top predictor of divorce. Spending is a major cause of these arguments. Most people want a significant other with a similar philosophy toward money and finances, and that's understandable. Financial infidelity, 85% of married individuals admit to hiding or lying about spending or saving. And 40% admit to creating undisclosed debt. So how do we handle money in relationships? One of the most important things you can do is just learn your partner's money habits. Talk about it. Watch them. Is this something you can live with? If they spend every penny that comes into their pocket and you're saving every one of those, you need to be aware that this will eventually be a source of conflict. Find a good financial advisor, not Uncle Saul, and certainly not a family member who doesn't know how to handle their money, but someone you can both agree on, someone who will teach you, who will guide you, who will be honest with you, and will help you to understand. Get on the same page about goals, whether it's a long-term goal or a short-term goal. You should be on the same page and be in agreement on all your financial goals. Find a referee. This sounds silly, but if you are fighting all the time, you need a referee. Again, someone who's going to speak truth to both of you, not just take one side or the other. This might be, again, that financial advisor. It could be a financial therapist or counselor, and there really are those folks out there that can help you. Decide when to join accounts. So we see a lot of young people that are dating and they decide to join accounts very early before they're fully committed to the relationship. This never ends well. Make sure you're in sync on goals and spending habits, again, before you join those accounts. Avoid common mistakes. So forgetting to update records and titles, especially when you get married. Are both of you on the house title? Are both of you on the car titles? This is really important, especially for, well, I was going to say for women, and not so much anymore, but we still deal with ladies that come into the credit union whose husband is on everything, and the husband sadly passes away, and she doesn't even have access to the account. She can't even sell a vehicle or sell the house because her name's not on anything. Not having routine conversations about finances. We say you should revisit your budget at least once a month. That means you should be having a conversation about your budget at least once a month. Don't nickel and dime each other. Well, I spent $10 and you spent $5. That's not a source for argument. Let's not worry about the pennies. Let's make sure we're on board with the big picture, with the financial trajectory of your relationship and your future. Don't ever pull rank. If you make more than the other person, doesn't matter. If you are together and you are pooling your resources, doesn't matter who makes more money. You have one pot at the end of the day to deal with. And have a plan for tacking on pre-commitment debt without judgment. So for example, one person comes into a relationship and they owe $10,000 on student loans. The other person comes into the relationship and they owe $30,000 on student loans. At the end of the day, when you join forces, you've got $40,000 in student loans. It doesn't matter who created it. So what happens when the wheels fall off? And they will fall off. Remember your trusted advisor. This is so important, especially in your financial life and in your married life. Don't bring your family into your argument. I would think that your family would take your side. That's not fair to the other person in the relationship. So don't bring them in. Sit, talk, and be honest. Don't say what you think that they want to hear. So if I love to spend money and my husband doesn't, I'm not going to say I'll never buy another pair of shoes, because it's just not true. It's going to set us up for the next argument. So have a discussion. Maybe I can buy one pair of shoes every 2 months instead of 5 pair a month. I'm willing to live by that. They're willing to live by that. We're going to help each other meet our financial goals. And create a goal or a plan to put the wheels back on together as a team. Remember, you chose this person to spend your life with. Invest in both of your futures by investing time in great conversation. Tackle those tough financial situations as they come along, and do it as a team. So we've been talking about money and relationships. I have brought Madison Hankins, local expert here at the credit union, to talk to us a little bit more. I've got a couple of questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
So as I was presenting the material, we came to the point where we're talking about financial infidelity. So first of all, I want you to talk to us a little bit more about what that is and what the consequences of financial infidelity can be. And then are you as astounded as I am that 85% of people in committed relationships admit to financial infidelity, which means probably more of them actually do it?
That's a shocking statistic.
Yeah.
When we think of infidelity, financial infidelity is not what comes to mind.
Mm-hmm.
However, just like all forms of infidelity, it starts small. You see the things online that are so funny, and they're doormats that say, please hide my Amazon package from my husband, and it's a big joke. And that's great if it's a big joke. But when that becomes something that's a consistent issue, where it's no longer, I'm hiding a package from my husband, it's, I'm covering it up. This is happening. I've taken out a line of credit, another credit card, so that I can support this infidelity, so that they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That becomes a major issue. It is just as much infidelity as any other kind of infidelity. This story is shocking to me, but there was someone, a woman came into the credit union, and she had been suffering and having financial infidelity. It started really small, spending a little too much money outside of their budget on clothes, on food, things that she felt she needed but were out of the budget that she and her husband had decided worked for them. It snowballed, and it snowballed quickly. She got herself into debt to a point that she had no other options to keep it a secret but to go to a payday lender, that predatory lender that Lisa warned us about. That is just something that can take such advantage of you. Those predatory lenders are nothing more than predators. You can get yourself into a cycle of debt. Once she got to that place, the only way after she came clean that they could get out of that situation was that they had to remortgage their paid off house in order to get her out of this cycle of predatory lending debt, all because she bought a blouse that was out of the budget or a meal that was out of the budget. It snowballs, and it snowballs quickly. That's a true story. It may be an extreme case, but it's better to have those conversations early or to avoid that financial infidelity from the beginning. Y'all are in a partnership. So the decisions that you're making about money need to be a partnership and not something that's secretive and hiding, because you will find yourself in more trouble than you bargained for with your very first, hide my Amazon package from my husband.
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah, that'll make you stop and think for a minute. Because you're right, those predatory lenders, they get their claws in you, and it is hard to break away because you can't keep up with the interest, you can't keep up with the payments.
And it's crushing.
And it's crushing. And I think there's a sense of shame that goes along with that you're at that place, which makes it even harder to share with your partner.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the other thing, I always joke about Uncle Saul. I don't have an Uncle Saul, but I do joke about him quite a bit. Why can't I talk to Uncle Saul? Maybe Uncle Saul is an Edward Jones advisor. He graduated from Texas Tech with a financial planning, degree and all those, and he's just super uber smart. Why no Uncle Saul?
Uncle Saul may be super duper smart.
Mm-hmm.
However, Uncle Saul is your uncle, which means he loves you and is going to be biased towards you. Again, when you're making decisions as a couple, you're doing it in a partnership. So you want someone whose perspective is objective and unbiased. They will be able to give you the best advice to make you successful as a marriage team, and not try to choose one over the other or side with one. So find that objective perspective in that advisor. But you don't have to pay an arm and a leg to go see that person. There are advisors out there that are expensive and they may be great, but your local credit union or your local bank are going to have resources and individuals who have expert training in those fields that can help you for free. So make sure that you're really doing your research on who your financial advisor are, that they're qualified, but that they're objective and unbiased, and they're not costing you a ton of money, especially if you're talking about how to make your budget work for you and how to save money, how to maybe get out of debt or overcome some of the things that are a struggle. You want to find somebody who's going to do that, but for a fraction of the cost or for free from your local credit union or bank.
Yeah. Free's always in the budget.
Free's better.
Free's always in the budget. Well, thanks for joining us today, guys. Marriage and relationships are tough in and of themselves. And when you layer on financial difficulties and you're not equally yoked in those decisions there, you're just headed for disaster. So take our advice, talk to some folks, make sure that you're having good conversations with your partner so that you can have a great financial future. Again, life's about choices, and we want you to have plenty of them.